So the next session that you're going to see is with a client named Natasha, who initially comes because she'd like to quit smoking and she'd like to work on craving cigarettes. You'll see how it's really good to actually have the cigarette there for the client. So it's really great to have whatever it is that's triggering them, whatever the craving is. If you're working on cravings with a client, it's good to actually have it there, and you'll see how I ask her to take a fake drag of the cigarette and smell the cigarette to try to get the craving back up. And you'll also see that sometimes there's underlying issues. It's anxiety and stress and resentment towards herself for not finishing school at a younger age, and how we start tapping on those issues as well, and how it's all kind of connected. Natasha, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to start with, there's a couple of things that you said you wanted to work on, and one of those being a desire to quit smoking and craving cigarettes. So we're going to start with a really great example of craving cigarettes and how EFT can work for that. And there's some other things that you mentioned if you want to work on some other issues, then we can work on that too. So what I'll do to begin is actually have you pull out a cigarette out of your pack. Do you have a lighter with you or no? That's okay. I'll just have you smell the cigarette, like if you put it under your nose or put it between the two fingers if you normally would smoke with your right hand. Mm-hmm. And you can actually take a fake drag if you want to take a fake drag. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think you'd like that cigarette rate about now?
About a 5.
About a 5. So we were a 4 before, and now we're about a 5. Yeah. And so we can get that craving up as high as you can. So you can smell it again if you want. Imagine lighting it, like if you could smoke in here and it wasn't a big deal, you could just light it up.
It's a big deal to smoke inside.
It's not okay. If you said, you know what, go ahead, Natasha, take a break, step outside, have a cigarette, feel free to do that. Still a 5?
Yeah, a 6.
How do you know? Where do you feel it in your body?
The chest.
You feel it in here?
A lot, yeah.
Okay. So you can put your cigarette on the table, and I will ask you to stay focused on that craving as we do the tapping. So we'll start at the sore spot. Right hand to left side, or that's fine too. Even though I have this craving for that cigarette, I can accept myself.
I can accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Even though I'd really like to have that cigarette right now.
Even though I'd really like to have that cigarette right now.
I can accept myself.
I can accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Even though I have a craving for that cigarette.
Even though I have a craving for that cigarette.
I can love and accept myself.
I can love and accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Okay, inner part of the eyebrow. Craving that cigarette.
I'm craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
I'm craving that cigarette.
Man, I'd like to have that cigarette.
I'd really like to have that cigarette.
I'd really like to have that cigarette.
I'd really like to have that cigarette.
This craving.
This craving.
That cigarette.
That cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Inside of the thumb. Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
First finger. Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Middle finger. This craving.
This craving.
Pinky finger. This craving.
This craving.
Cry chuck points together. Craving that cigarette.
I'm craving that cigarette.
Don't be afraid to look at it. Craving that cigarette.
I'm craving that cigarette.
Okay. Sure like to light up that cigarette.
I'd sure like to light up that cigarette.
Okay. Close your eyes. Open. Look down hard to the right. Down hard to the left. Make the biggest circle you can find with the eyes. And then the other direction. Good. We'll do happy birthday together. Count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do floor to ceiling eye roll. If you can keep tapping the back of your hand, look down at the floor, craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Looking up, 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 craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
This craving.
This craving.
Let your right hand relax. This craving.
This craving.
This craving.
This craving.
Sure, I'd like to light up that cigarette.
Sure, I'd like to light up that cigarette.
Step outside.
Step outside.
Have that cigarette.
And have that cigarette.
We'll do karate chop points together. Craving that cigarette.
Craving that cigarette.
There's one extra point. Maybe I can let that craving go.
Maybe I can let that craving go.
Okay. Take a deep full breath in and out. And then check in with your craving.
It's a 2.
It's a 2.
I feel relaxed.
Yeah. Pick up the cigarette. And smell it. And see what it smells like. Does it smell the same?
Yeah. It smells the same, but not my scent. Like, I don't sense it the same.
Ah, you sense it differently.
Yes.
Like you experience the sense differently.
Yes.
How is it different?
Like, I don't want to smell it. Before I wanted to smell it.
Yeah.
It's not more refreshing.
Yes.
And now it's like,
Ew.
yeah, I don't want to smell it.
Okay, put it back on the table. We'll do a remaining craving and see what that. And see if we can get you to a 0. Because the goal is to get you to a 0, actually to the point where you're like, ooh, I really don't want that. Okay. Even though I still have some of this craving, so just listen for the change. Even though I still have some of this craving left, I can accept myself.
I can accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Even though I still have some of this craving left,
Even though I have some of this craving left,
I can accept myself.
I can accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Even though I still have some of this craving,
Even though I still have some of this craving,
I can accept myself.
I can accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Remaining craving.
Remaining craving.
Remaining craving.
Remaining craving.
Good. Under the eye, remaining craving.
Remaining craving.
This remaining craving.
This remaining craving.
For that cigarette.
For that cigarette.
This remaining craving.
This remaining craving.
That I have.
That I have.
For that cigarette.
For that cigarette.
This remaining craving.
This remaining craving.
For that cigarette.
For that cigarette.
Good. This remaining craving.
This remaining craving.
For that cigarette.
For that cigarette.
Close. Open. Right. Left. Big circle. Other way. Good. Keep tapping. Floor to ceiling eye roll. This remaining craving for that cigarette.
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 This remaining craving.
This remaining craving.
This remaining craving for that cigarette.
This remaining craving for that cigarette.
This remaining craving.
This remaining craving
For that cigarette.
for that cigarette.
Sure like to have it.
I'd sure like to have it.
This remaining craving.
This remaining
I'm
craving.
going to see if I can let it go.
I'm going to see if I can let it go.
I'm going to see if I can let that craving go.
I'm going to see if I can let that craving go.
I'm going to see if I can let that craving go.
I'm going to see if I can let that craving go.
Good. Take a deep full breath in. You know. Good. And pick up the cigarette again. And go ahead and smell it or take a pretend drag or imagine you can go light it up. Does it smell the same?
Not really.
What's the craving? How much would you like to?
It gave me kind of a headache to smell it. It like pierced my head.
Very nice.
No.
Is it a 0 though? On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yes. It's a 0.
Good. Even if I said you can go ahead and light it up and go outside, it's
Yes.
fine. You really don't want the cigarette at all.
No.
And how calm do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10?
It's 10 being calm.
10 being totally calm.
About 8.
Good. Is there a particular time that you normally have cigarettes? When you're having a bad day, when you're having a good day, all the above? If you really want to quit smoking, what do you think stops you from quitting? Or what would be the hardest part about quitting?
Replacing that time with something else. It's like a break.
A break from whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
A moment to yourself.
Oh, so sometimes if you're a mom, right? So sometimes if you're having a bad day or kids are having a bad day and you need a break, you go out and have a cigarette.
Yes.
So it's like if you gave that up, there'd be no time left for you. Or what would you do to have that break, to have that 2 minutes to yourself? Because you feel like you have to replace it?
Yes, kind of.
So you don't want to give up the cigarette because it's like your 2 minutes of what?
Stress relief.
Oh, even though there's part of me
Even though there's part of me
who really doesn't want to give up smoking.
who really doesn't want to give up smoking.
It's like my 2 minutes of stress relief.
It's like my 2 minutes of stress relief.
That I take throughout the day.
And
I don't know what I'd do without it.
And I don't know what I'd do without it.
Regardless of that.
I
can love and accept myself.
I can love and accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Don't really want to give up these cigarettes.
I don't really want to give up these cigarettes.
They're my stress relief.
They're my stress relief.
Good. Don't really want to give these up.
I don't really want to give these up.
They're my stress relief.
They're my stress relief.
What would I do without them?
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 I don't really want to give them up.
I don't really want to give them up.
They're my stress relief.
They're my stress relief.
2 minutes of stress relief.
2 minutes of stress relief.
Okay. These 2 minutes of stress relief.
These 2 minutes of stress relief.
Good. Close, open, right, left, big circle, other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't want to give up these cigarettes.
I don't want to give up these cigarettes.
They're my 2 minutes of stress relief.
They're my 2 minutes of stress relief.
What am I going to do without them?
What am I going to do without them?
How am I going to get stress relief without them?
How am I going to get stress relief without them?
I don't think I could handle that.
I don't think I can handle that.
What am I going to do without them?
What am I going to do without
I don't
them?
really want to give up these cigarettes.
I don't really want to give up these cigarettes.
What would I do without them?
What would I do without them?
Maybe I could find another alternative.
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 Good. Take a deep full breath in and out. Now, what I didn't do is ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, how true does that statement feel for you? And I was pretty sure that you probably felt like, no, that's really true for me. I really couldn't give them up because they're my stress relief. So if you say that again, I can't give up these cigarettes, they're my stress relief.
I can't give up these cigarettes because they're my stress relief.
Does that still feel true for you?
It doesn't feel true for me because I know there's other methods of stress relief.
What are some of those other methods?
Taking a jog and clearing your mind.
Yeah. Or just getting outside and getting some fresh air.
Yes.
So, do you believe that it's possible for you to quit smoking?
Yes, I do believe.
Have you tried before?
Once.
And what happened?
I cut back. For about 5 days.
Good. And what happened? It was too much stress, or what was it that impeded you from really quitting, you think?
I had a little personal problem.
And it was
went back.
a stressful time.
Yes.
So you went back to So let's do another round on even though do you still feel like we don't know what we would do without them? Say, I don't know what I would do without them.
I don't know what I would do without them. No, I don't feel that strong about it.
Is it a 0?
It's a 3.
Okay. Even though I still use these cigarettes for stress relief,
and
I'm not sure what I would do without them, I can love and accept myself. Fully and completely. Even though I still need these cigarettes for stress relief, I can love and accept myself. Fully and completely. Even though I still don't know what I'd do without them. I kind of feel like I need them for stress relief. I can love and accept myself. Fully and completely. This remaining need for those cigarettes. They're my stress relief. Still don't know what I'd do without them. This remaining need for those cigarettes. I use them for my stress relief. What would I do without them? What would I do without them? Maybe I could find a healthy alternative. To relieve stress. Maybe I could find a healthy alternative. To relieve stress. Deep full breath in. Out. And just say, I don't know what I would do without them. What would you do without them? How true does that feel? I don't know what I would do without them on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being, well, that's really true, Carol, or 3. I think it was about a 3 before we started.
Yes, a 1. A 1 or a 0.
What do you think you would do without them?
Gain weight.
Ah!
I'm not nervous about it because I've never gained weight before, but I mean...
Someone told you at some point that a lot of people who try to quit smoking gain weight. So here's what's called PR, or psychological reversal. Okay. Someone says, I really want to quit smoking, but the subconscious mind is like, oh no, don't do that. You'll gain weight, and we really don't want to do that. So there's like a self-sabotage, no matter how many times we try to quit smoking, even though you've only tried once. If we don't clear the remaining fear that's there, this fear that I'm going to gain weight if I quit smoking, then we will unconsciously sabotage any attempts to quit smoking. Do you know what I mean by that? So there's like this pattern, like we can't get rid of the problem because there's something else underneath it. So we're going to tap on, even though I'm kind of afraid I might gain weight if I quit smoking. On a scale of 1 to 10, Do you know somebody that's gained weight when they tried to quit smoking? Or?
My grandma.
Oh, okay. How much weight did she gain?
I'd say about 20 pounds.
Oh. And it was really frustrating for her?
Yes.
Do you know anybody else that's gained weight?
My mom, whenever she quit smoking.
So your mom and your grandma and
My aunt.
your aunt. A lot of people gain weight when they quit smoking. On a scale of 1 to 10, how afraid are you that you might gain weight if you quit smoking?
A 4.
Let's see if we can tap on that.
Okay.
Even though I have this fear
that
I might gain weight if I quit smoking,
because
my mom did,
and
my grandma did,
and my
aunt did,
that
that probably means that I will.
That probably means I will.
Regardless of that,
I
can accept myself.
I can accept myself.
Fully and completely.
I
can give my body permission.
Permission
to give up the addiction to nicotine.
And
still maintain the healthy weight that I am now. Yeah, this fear. I might gain weight. If I quit smoking. Everybody I know. Gained weight. When they quit smoking. So it kind of feels like I might gain weight. If I quit smoking too. I don't want that to happen. But maybe it's possible. For me to quit smoking. And maintain my healthy weight. Good. Back of the hand. This fear. Close your eyes. Open. Look down hard to the right. Down hard to the left. Big circle. Gorgeous. Other way. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Floor to ceiling eye roll. This fear. This fear of gaining weight. If I quit smoking. Inside part of the eyebrow. This fear of gaining weight. If I quit smoking. This fear of gaining weight. If I quit smoking. This fear of gaining weight. Everybody I know gained weight. When they quit smoking. But maybe I can let that fear go. Maybe I can let that fear go. Good. Deep full breath in. Out. And then just say, I'm afraid I might gain weight if I quit smoking. And then give me a number. How true does that feel for you on a scale of 1 to 10?
A 2.
Even though I still pressing in a circle, even though I still have some of this fear, that I might gain weight, if I quit smoking, I can let that fear go. I can let my body release the addiction to nicotine, and still maintain my healthy weight. This remaining fear, I might gain weight if I quit smoking. This remaining fear, I might gain weight if I quit smoking. But I can let that fear go. Good. I can release the addiction to nicotine. And maintain my healthy weight. Good. Deep full breath in. Out. Just say, I'm afraid I'm going to gain weight because my mom did, and my grandma did, and my aunt did.
I'm afraid I'm going to gain weight because my mom did, my grandma did, and my aunt did.
When they quit smoking. Yeah. Does that mean it's true for you?
Yes.
Give me a number. There's still a party that believes it.
A 2.
Still a 2.
Yeah, because I think a big replacement will be goodies, snacks.
So even though I'm afraid that I might eat a lot of junk food or sweets.
No, not so much as that. Even carrots and vegetables. I like my vegetables, but I mean, I think I have to find a replacement other than food. Right.
Okay. So even though I feel like I'm going to have to replace cigarettes with food, and because of that I might gain weight. It's even if it's healthy food.
Yes.
That's okay too.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. Even though I still have some of this fear.
But
if I quit smoking.
I'm going to
have to replace that with food. And I have this fear of gaining weight as a result of that.
And I have a fear of gaining weight as a result of that.
I can love and accept myself anyway.
I can love and accept myself anyway.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
Give my body and mind permission.
Give my body and my mind permission.
To let go of that fear.
To let go of that fear.
What if I eat more?
What if I eat more?
When I quit smoking.
When I quit smoking.
I've got to replace it with something.
I gotta replace it with something.
I've got to replace it with something.
I gotta replace it with something.
I'll probably replace it with food.
I'll probably replace it with food.
Which means I'll probably gain weight.
Which means I'll probably gain weight.
Everybody else I know.
Everybody else I know.
Gained weight when they quit smoking.
Gained weight when they quit smoking.
Because they replaced it with food.
Because they replaced it with food.
Don't want that to happen to me.
I don't want that to happen to me.
This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
That might happen to me.
That might happen to me.
Good. This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
That might happen to me.
That might happen to me.
Close. Open. Down hard right. Down hard left. Big circle. Good. Other way. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
I'm going to replace cigarettes with food.
I'm going to replace cigarettes with food.
This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
I'm going to replace cigarettes with food.
I'm going to replace cigarettes with food.
Good. This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
I'm going to replace cigarettes with food.
I'm going to replace cigarettes with food.
Might gain weight.
Might gain weight.
Don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
Everybody else I know.
Everybody else I know.
Had that happen to them.
Had that happen to them.
Don't want that to happen to me.
Don't want that to happen to me.
That doesn't mean it will happen to me.
It doesn't mean it will happen to me.
Good. I can let go of that fear.
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 Okay. Allow myself to be at peace instead.
Allow myself to be at peace instead.
Deep full breath in. Out. And then check in with the statement. I'm gonna if I replace cigarettes with food, I'll probably gain weight.
If I replace cigarettes with food, I'll probably gain weight.
Is that true?
I feel about a 1 on it.
Good. Do you have to replace cigarettes with food?
No.
Oh. What could you replace it with instead?
Exercise.
Would you gain weight or would you lose weight?
I would probably stay the same.
Probably stay the same.
Toner.
And probably stay healthy. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the fear of gaining weight?
What's the fear?
Like, how much fear do you feel that you'll gain weight?
Like a 1.
Okay. This remaining fear.
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 I might gain weight.
I might gain weight.
If I replace cigarettes.
If I replace cigarettes.
With food.
With food.
Even if it's healthy 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 food.
But maybe I could replace cigarettes.
Maybe I could replace cigarettes.
With something healthy like exercise.
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 Good. So I can let go of this fear.
So I can let go of this fear.
That I'll gain weight if I quit smoking.
I'll gain weight if I quit smoking.
I can let go of this fear.
I can let go of this fear.
Allow myself to be at peace.
Allow myself to go be at peace.
Good. Deep full breath in. Out. Good. And then check in if it's a 1 or a 0 or if something else comes to mind. What might happen if you quit smoking? Let me know.
Okay. I might just not be able to cope, maybe.
Because life's stressful.
Some days.
What's stressful about it?
School and my co-op. Being a mother and trying to get an education.
So it's kind of a feeling of overwhelmed.
Yes.
Yeah. And the cigarettes kind of help you deal with feeling overwhelmed a lot?
Yes.
Yeah. So is it because you're busy or because there's just a lot of responsibility?
Busy. Yeah, I don't mind the responsibility. It's being busy and not being able to relax and
no time
do
to
nothing
relax.
For one day.
Yeah, because you never really get that chance with kids.
Not
Right?
very much.
So an addiction to cigarettes isn't necessarily, EFT works really great for cravings. What we really have to get at is why we're using the cigarettes to begin with. And for most people, it's like a general anxiety or stress in some way, shape, or form.
And a reaction.
Just a reaction. Yeah. So every time you feel overwhelmed with everything that you've got going as a mother and as a student, your instant response is, we'll just have a cigarette because it takes that feeling away.
Correct.
So you can replace the cigarette with something like tapping. You can go outside and tap for 5 minutes instead. But let's do a little bit more on, oh my God, I have so much to do, I'm so busy. On a scale of 1 to 10, how busy do you feel?
A 9.
And is it just a busy feeling, or I've got so much to do feeling, or what kind of words would you use to describe it?
Words to describe it.
Is it overwhelmed? Is it anxious because you have so much? Is it deprived of just time for yourself? Or resentment that you have so much to do?
Yeah, resentment that I have to do so much now.
Is it someone else that you resent, or is it
myself? Myself.
Okay. Why do you resent
that I didn't do my school when I was in grade age? Like,
yeah, you're mad that you had to go back to school. I should have.
I'm mad that I didn't stay in school when I was.
How mad are you at yourself for not staying in school?
Not mad, resentful, regretful. I'd say about an 8 or 9.
Okay. Even though I really resent myself.
I
should have stayed in school.
I should have stayed in school.
And finished high school. When it was appropriate for me to do so. And now I've got to go back to school. And I really resent that. Because I'm a mom. And I'm so busy. And I really resent that. Regardless of that. Maybe I can accept myself.
Maybe I can accept myself and... Anyway.
Fully and completely. Good for this resentment. Why didn't I finish school? When I should have. Now I've got to go back. I really resent that. I really resent having to go back to school. At age 26. I really resent having to go back to school. Resenting myself. For doing this. Gotta go back to school now. At age 26. So resentful. Good. Close. Open. Down hard right. Down hard left. Biggest circle you can find. Other direction. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This resentful feeling. Resenting myself. For not finishing school. When I should have. This resentment. Inner part of the eyebrow. This resentment. Just resent the fact that I gotta go back to school now. I really resent the fact. I gotta go back to school now. And I'm a mom. And I'm 26. I wish I would have finished school. When I was younger. But maybe I can accept myself anyway. And let that resentment go. One breath at a time. Okay. Deep pull back in. Out. And just say, I really resent the fact that I gotta go back to school. Resent myself for it. Good. Give me a number.
A 6.
Is it still resentment?
It's not as a resentment, no.
What is it?
It's I don't know.
Is it regret?
Yeah, regret.
Something else. Let's do remaining resentment to see if we can get
having to work so hard now when I should be just working and making money.
Yeah, you should just have a job now.
I should just have a job now, yeah. But
so you kind of had all these expectations for yourself that didn't turn out the way you thought it would.
Yeah.
Let's do remaining resentment. I should just be working now. And supporting my kids. This remaining resentment. I should be doing something else at this age. Like just working. But I'm not. I'm back in school. And I still have some of this resentment about it. This remaining resentment. Floor to ceiling eye roll. This remaining resentment. Good. Looking up. This remaining resentment.
remaining resentment.
I wish I was just working now.
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 But I'm not.
But I'm not.
I'm busy as a mom.
I'm busy as a mom.
I'm busy with school.
I'm busy with school.
And I really hate being this busy.
And I really hate being this busy.
I resent the fact that I'm this busy.
I resent the fact that I'm this busy.
I still have some of this resentment.
I still have some of this resentment.
But I'm going to see if I can let it go.
But I'm going to see if I can let it go.
Good. This remaining resentment.
This remaining resentment.
I'm going to let it go.
I'm going to let it go.
Deep full breath in. Out. And then check in with resentment.
So 3, 4.
Okay. Even though I still have some of this resentment left.
Even though I still have some of this resentment left.
I really wish I was doing something else.
I really wish I was doing something else.
Like working full-time instead of going to school.
Like working full-time instead of going to school.
Doing what other 26-year-olds are doing.
Doing what other 26-year-olds are doing.
Regardless of that.
Regardless of that.
I can accept myself.
I can accept myself.
Fully and completely.
Fully and completely.
And give myself permission.
And give myself permission.
To let that resentment go.
To let that resentment go.
A little bit at a time.
A little bit at a time.
This remaining resentment.
This remaining resentment.
I'm 26.
I'm 26.
I should be doing other things.
I should be doing other things.
That 26-year-olds are doing.
That other 26-year-olds are doing.
Not finishing high school.
Not finishing high school.
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
This remaining resentment.
This remaining resentment.
I should be doing other things.
I should be doing other things.
That other 26-year-olds are doing.
That other 26-year-olds are doing.
Not finishing high school.
Not finishing high school.
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
This remaining resentment.
This remaining resentment.
Floor to ceiling eye roll. This remaining resentment.
This remaining resentment.
I can let it go.
I can let it go.
Looking up, up, up. This remaining resentment.
This remaining resentment.
Good. This remaining resentment.
This remaining resentment.
Maybe I can let it go.
Maybe I can let it go.
No, I can't.
No, I can't.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
No, I can't.
No, I can't.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
I can let this resentment go.
I can let this resentment go.
No, I can't.
No, I can't.
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
I can let it go.
I can let it go.
Good. I can let this resentment go.
I can let this resentment go.
And just accept where I am right now.
And just accept where I am right now.
Deep full breath in. Out. And just go back in your mind and say, I really resent where I'm at right now.
I really resent where I'm at right now. This is 0. Because I'm better now than I was.
Oh! So it almost sounds funny, like, why would I even resent myself? Or...
Yeah.
Is there any other emotion that's underneath that? Is there regret? Is there sadness? Is there something else? Because it was a bit of a mix. Like, we couldn't really decide if it was resentment or regret. Or... Is there anything you regret?
Going to school. I'd say...
How much do you regret not finishing high school at age, like, 18 or 19? 18.
I regret it a lot, but I'm here now.
Is there a little bit? Even if it's a regret. Like,
I've had enough of regret that I'm not going to regret anything anymore. That's why I'm in school.
So regret's a 0?
Yeah, the regret's a 0.
Do you regret not finishing? Just say, I really regret not finishing school at age 18 instead of 26.
I really regret not finishing school at age 18 instead of 26.
Give me a number.
0.
Awesome.
0.
And say instead, I can just accept where I am now.
Instead, I can just accept where I am right now.
How do you feel about that?
A 10.
Awesome. So sometimes when we're holding on to other emotions, like, mad at ourselves, or all these emotions connected that cause us distress or cause a disruption in the energy system in the body, that is connected to why we smoke as well. So sometimes it's a bit of a web that we've got to untangle, because it's kind of like, well, I don't want to quit smoking because I might gain weight. So if we can kind of eliminate that fear, well, that doesn't really make sense. I could probably just replace it with something healthy. And then we get to the other emotions that are connected to the stress, and help eliminate those and just come to a place of acceptance in our life. Then we don't necessarily even get the cravings for the cigarettes anymore. Now there's probably more, there's probably a bit more to it for you, but I think we'll save that for another session, because that'd probably be a nice session too. Awesome. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you.